Are you finding yourself irritable? Just constantly irritated at work when your colleagues are asking you the most benign questions? Are you finding that maybe it's not you, but some of your other colleagues are just getting irritable in meetings? There are two reasons possibly why. Either burnout and or lack of boundaries. Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Alexsandra. I'm a seasoned climate tech and crypto founder who founded a pioneering carbon removal company. And now I work with entrepreneurs like you who are looking to scale innovating startups while being empowered leaders and not burning out. So yesterday I'm listening to something on my AirPods and I scream at Siri because in the middle of listening to this very important audiobook that I am completely engrossed in, hanging on every word, she starts to read to me an inbound text from a spam, like a cold SMS message. First of all, SMS messages are annoying on their own. But I honestly was so livid. I don't remember the last time I've ever screamed that loudly, that fiercely to anyone or anything. I was lucky that no one else was around to hear me because it was loud, like a roar. And then I had it like in my body. I was freaking frustrated. And I'm like, why was that so aggravating, so irritating? It's because I let Siri read all my notifications and I wasn't on any focus mode. So it was just allowing all notifications to come in and be read. And it made me realize that is a great topic for this week's content, which is irritability. Why do we get irritable? And guess what? It happens all the time to everybody, but particularly to founders who are dealing with lots of stress and burnout as they're scaling their businesses. And this is a really important thing to watch out for because if you don't know how to navigate your irritability in a productive, healthy way, oh, it's going to come back and bite you and hurt you. Let's talk about what we can do about this today. Number one is being aware of it. Man, sometimes it happens and you just can't help it. Sometimes your co-founder is going to give you something across your desk or ping you on Slack, asking you for you to do something, and you're just going to snap. It really sucks that that's how we work sometimes. But in the event that it does happen, take a deep breath, allow yourself grace, and immediately apologize. As soon as you're able to apologize, because unfortunately we are human. We have these quick reflexes for a reason. In one of my videos recently, I talked about how our brain is structured and how the cerebellum, the core part of our brain, is that animal brain that responds to stresses in our environment. Sometimes we just can't help it. And then if we come to awareness that this is a problem for us, that we are getting irritable, if you find yourself constantly irritable or more frequently getting irritable, there are a few reasons why. The first could be that you're just really burnt out. You are too stressed out. And so we need to address the stress and the burnout. And there are so many reasons for why that might happen. There's a link in the description below of this video for my YouTube channel. If you're curious, please click on that. Nothing crazy, just some information about what I do to help founders with stress and burnout. But another reason is a lack of boundaries. Boundaries are super important. I know that this is a term that is thrown a lot. It's like thrown everywhere. And it's kind of wild because I even see people saying that they're setting boundaries when they're clearly not. They're just yelling. They're just angry. And it's usually because they didn't communicate in the first place that the boundary existed. And so naturally someone walked right across. It's like as if this camera didn't exist and the people who are walking by just walked right between me and the camera. That would be really rude. It would drive me nuts. But they didn't see the camera because it was completely invisible. The tripod was invisible. The camera's invisible, breaking the fourth wall here a little bit. So how can I blame anybody for walking across between me and my camera if it's completely invisible, if no one sees it? What right do I have to yell at someone? Now, if they can clearly see it and it's visible, almost no one would walk between me and my camera. And that's what's usually happening for you, is you're getting angry because there's something that you are not clearly communicating. And if you're not communicating it, it actually might be that you're not even clearly aware, self-aware for yourself, that that is a boundary. Or even deeper, are you even aware that it's a need? So let's reverse engineer this. If you're watching this video and you're saying, hey, actually, yeah, I am getting irritable quite often, think about it. When do you get irritable? Is it at work, at home? Like, are there any patterns in terms of location? Are there any patterns in terms of triggers? Is it that one coworker that just like gets under your skin? We all have it. We all have it. We're all wonderful people, but we always have our own little triggers with different people. Or is it that one task that you just hate doing and it puts you in a bad mood? So take a moment, think about it. Persons, places, things, tasks. What is that thing that gets you set off and irritable? Now, understand, is there any need that I'm having that is not being met by this? Like, do I have a need for privacy or a need for forewarning that a new agenda item is coming onto the meeting in an hour? Do I need to prepare for that? These are important things. There's a need there that's not being met for you. And I'm not talking about, maybe some of them are wants. Actually, it might be a want and a need. But usually when we get irritable, it's because there's a need, like a core need that we have that is not being fulfilled. Then ask yourself, have you been clear about that need for yourself? Have you been clear? I need forewarning if the agenda changes for our leadership team meetings. I need time to address the issues that come through on Slack where I need to produce some new output. And I can't just turn it around in 15 minutes and drop everything that I'm doing because I dedicate and I schedule my time. Then, if you're clear for yourself on what those needs are, ask yourself, honestly, have you been communicating that to your team? Have you been communicating that to your colleagues? Is it clearly expressed? I bet that it isn't. In the majority of cases, it isn't, and that's your responsibility to solve. So now, if you are clear about what those needs are and you have clearly communicated them to yourself and to those around you that you're working with or living with, the next thing to ask yourself is, are we all in agreement about observing those boundaries? Because they might not be. You might not have the confirmed clear commitment from the other person or the people that you're involved with on respecting those particular boundaries. And that's where some of the work needs to be done. I find that honestly, most of the time, it's just on those first three aspects of understanding what your needs are, being self-aware for yourself, communicating them to yourself and to others. And then most of the time, there's like this understood, yeah, okay, when you communicate a need, people are like, okay, that makes sense. But it has to be communicated and you have to have an agreement. Whether it's verbal, nonverbal, you can tell. If you sense any nonverbal pushbacks to it, get curious. Get curious. Ask, how does that sound to you? So, for example, the agenda to the leadership team meeting in 2 hours changes. Something has come up, and I need that forewarning. So I'll tell my team, hey, team, listen, I prepare a lot for the leadership team meetings, and it throws me off and can stress me out because when I'm not prepared. So when an item comes up last minute, I would like to be informed as soon as it happens instead of being surprised in the meeting as it's happening. You share that with your team, and then they say, you can get a sense like, are they nodding? Okay, that makes sense. Do we have a team agreement? Great. If not, if you're not getting any verbal agreement and you're just getting silence and people are just ask a question, how does that sound to all of you? Open-ended questions. How does that sound to you? You're not asking a yes or no question where a judgment is assigned. You're not making things pointed. You're not like quartering anybody into being a bad person if they don't agree. You're asking open-endedly, how does that sound to you? And then honestly, that's the bulk of the work. Once that's done, you're pretty much clear with yourself, with others, what those boundaries are. And you'll find that the more they are known, the more they'll be respected and the less irritable you will be. The dangers of being irritable at work, specifically, especially at a startup, is that it deteriorates trust between you and your colleagues. And then people are going to be walking on eggshells around you. And they're not going to be bringing up important things that are happening, issues that are coming up on the team, whether it's relational between other people on the team, or if it's operationally, or if it's within a product feature. This is a critical skill to be able to recognize when these tensions are happening. If you or someone else is being irritable, check in. our boundaries clear, our needs clear. And then obviously, we know this is going to spill over into our personal life. If you're being irritable, it's going to deteriorate your personal relationships, which is never good for anybody. Our society has the biggest issue when it comes to feeling comfortable to say, no, thank you. It's been one of my favorite things that I've seen in the last several years is no is a full sentence. No is a full sentence. However, we know that that actually is not the most effective form of communicating a boundary or saying no, especially if you care about that relationship being in good standing. No plus context, I think, is the best way forward for people and relationships that you want to be built over time. If it's some stranger that you don't really care about and it's a situation that's very clearly unsafe or uncomfortable, no is a full sentence. But I just want a disclaimer that it is absolutely better to provide no plus context. And the more that you say no plus context, the more safe you're going to feel in telling people what your needs are, what your boundaries are, and the more safe they're going to feel with you, telling you, hey, no, I can't do that right now because XYZ thing. Hey, no, I can't offer that for you because XYZ thing. It's so much more helpful. You have to be clear for yourself. So this is all to say we need to be self-aware for ourselves and communicative of what it is that we need and those boundaries and expectations and get clear agreements on them. It'll vastly telling you improve your business life and your personal life. That's it for this video this week. It's kind of short because irritability is short. So I hope it was helpful. If you found this video helpful, please like it. And if you want to see more content like this, subscribe, of course, to my channel. If, again, you are a founder dealing with stress and burnout and irritability, please check out the link at the description at the bottom of this video. Again, just some information about what I do to work with founders like you to upscale their lives and break free of stress, burnout, and irritability and become the best, most empowered, clear thinking leaders that they can be. Until next time, I hope you guys have a great day.